Well, today we are going to talk about properties of determinant and evaluation of determinants using properties of determinants. Let's have a look on properties given in NCERT textbooks. There are listed 6 properties in the NCERT textbook, out of which the first one says if we interchange the rows and columns of a determinant, then the value of determinant remains unchanged. That is, the value, if A is a square matrix, then the value of determinant of A is equal to the value of determinants of A transpose. Means on transposing a determinant, its value doesn't change. Well, the second property says if we interchange any two rows or columns, then the numerical value of the determinant remains same, but the sign of determinant changes. That is, the new obtained determinant is the additive inverse of the original determinants. Means if we interchange any two rows or two columns, the numerical value remains same, but the sign changes. Well, the third property says if in a determinant, if there are two rows in which the corresponding elements are either same, that is identical, or proportional, then the value of that determinant is always 0. We'll not go to the proofs of these properties because while using the properties we'll discuss it in detail. Well, the next one and the most important, mostly used, if we multiply all the elements of one particular row or one particular column by a scalar k, then the value of determinants gets multiplied by k. That is most important thing. See, if I have a determinant ka, kb, kc, x, y, z, u, v, w, then I can take k common from a particular row. That is the most important property which will widely be used. A, B, C, X, Y, Z, U, V, W. So this is how it works. In matrices, if we multiply a scalar with a matrix, then each and every element of that matrix is to be multiplied by that constant, that scalar. But here in determinant, if we want to multiply the value of determinant by a scalar k, then the k is to be multiplied in one row or one column, and that helps us. That means we can take common a particular constant from a single row or a column. Now, property 5. If some or all the elements are expressed as the sum of two quantities, two terms, then the determinant can be expressed as the sum of two determinants. We'll talk about it later. And the widely used property 6, if we apply the transforms like Ri becomes Ri plus m times of Rj plus n times of Rk, then the value of determinants remain unchanged. That is the most important property which will widely be used in most of the questions. Now let's have a question to better understand the properties. We have a question here, the first part of question 8 of exercise 4.2. Here we can observe that we are having all ones in first column. So when we get all ones in first column, what we do is we make two zeros with the help of this one, as we have done in elementary transformation. Well, while applying the transformations, the care must be taken when we apply the transformation like R1 becomes R1 plus 2R2 or R2 becomes R2 minus 3R1 or whatever the transformation, then the care must be taken that at least one row or a column is unaltered. अदरवाइज क्या कर सकते हो, आधे लोग क्या करेंगे, इसमें से ये सब्ट्रैक्ट किया 0, इसमें से ये सब्ट्रैक्ट किया 0, इसमें से ये सब्ट्रैक्ट किया 0, 0 0 0, ऑल 0, so it will give 0. It's not like that. Care must be taken that at least one row is unaltered. Well, second thing is, while in matrices, when we were finding the inverse of a matrix by elementary row transformations, we were to use either row transformation or column transformation, but here in a single problem we can use both, but care must be taken that in a single step you either use row or column. In the next step you can use column. Again in the next you can use row or column, whatever suits. So these are the two things which we must keep in mind. One thing, that is at least one row must be unaltered. Second, we can use row transformation as well as column transformation. Let's try this question. So if I subtract second row from first, that is if I make the transform, R2 now becomes R2 minus R1, so that 1 minus 1 is 0, and R3 becomes R3 minus R1. 1 minus 1 is 0. What we done is, we have fixed one row so that this is unaltered, and other two rows we are trying to make two zeros, right? So what happens? See, first of all we'll name the determinant as delta. So now our delta becomes R1 is unaltered, that is 1a square. In R2, 1 minus 1 is 0, R2 minus R1, b minus a, b square minus a square, b square minus a square. And the third row becomes 1 minus 1 is 0, c minus a, and c square minus a square, c square minus a square. This gives us 1a square, 1 b minus a, 0 b minus a. The factor of b square minus a square is b plus a multiplied by b minus a. 0 c minus a. The factors of c square minus a square is c plus a into c minus a. Now using this property we can take common c. From R2 you can take common b minus a. 0 divided by b minus a gives us 0. So this gives us b minus a in, and from this we can take common c minus a. Let's see what happens. There is no change in R1. Now taking b minus a common from this. So taking common means dividing each and every element of this particular row by b minus a. So 0 upon b minus a is 0. b minus a upon b minus a is 1. b minus a, when we divide it by b minus a will be cancelled. So this will give me b plus a. Again here we are taking c minus a common from the third row. So this gives me 0. This gives me 1. When I divide it by c minus a, what we are left with, that is c plus a. Now expanding along first column. What we did is, we have made two zeros in a column. Now we expand along the first column. What it gives? b minus a multiplied by c minus a. Now when we expand this determinant, 1 multiplied by, we'll eliminate this row and this column. 1 multiplied by this minus 0 multiplied by the cofactor plus 0 multiplied, that will give us 0. So 1 into 1 b plus a, 1 c plus a minus 0 times of something, that will give me minus 0 times of a square 1ca, that will give me 0, and 0 times of that. That is the beauty of the question. What we do is, if we have triple 1, what we make is 1 0 0, we make 100, right? We get all identical elements in a particular row or a particular column. We take something common so that all the elements are same. Now with the help of one particular row or one particular column, we make two zeros and then we expand. Now, what the result is? B minus A, C minus A. This is C plus A. 1 into C plus A is C plus A minus 1 into B plus A. 1 into B plus A. That gives me B minus A into C minus A into C plus A minus B minus A. So A is cancelled out. This gives me B minus A, C minus A, C minus B. We need A minus B, B minus C. So from here I take a negative sign common. This gives me A minus B. C minus A is okay. C minus A. I take a negative sign common. This gives me B minus C. Now minus into minus is plus. So this gives me A minus B, B minus C, C minus A. Cyclic order. A minus B, B minus C, C minus A. Now let's change this question with not 1 1 1 A B C A square B square C square. We take 1 1 1 X Y Z, X square Y square, Z square to better understand the question. So now we have changed our question. In one row we have 1 1 1 and then, well, this is 1 1 1. Suppose we take X Y Z, X square Y square Z square. What it will give? X minus Y into Y minus Z into Z minus X. See again how we'll do. Since we have all ones in first column, so we fix the row and now we made two zeros. How? R2 becomes R2 minus R1 and R3 becomes R3 minus R1. With the help of R1 we made two zeros here. So what our delta is? This gives 1x x square. There is no change. It will stay same. Now 1 minus 1 is 0. Y minus x. Y square minus x square. That is y plus x into y minus x. Y square minus x square. 1 minus 1 is 0. Z minus x. Z square minus x square can be factorized as z plus x into z minus x. What we will do? We will take common y minus x from here and z minus x from this particular row. So what we will get is y minus x, z minus x times out. First is same 1x x square. From here what we can do is we can take y minus x common. So we divide all the terms by y minus x. This gives me 0. Y minus x upon y minus x is 1. Y plus x into y minus x divided by y minus x gives me y plus x. Here z minus x is common. So 0, 1, z plus x. Now expanding along y minus z into z minus x. Expanding along first column we get 1 multiplied by this determinant 1 y plus x 1 z plus x minus 0 into whatever that gives us 0 plus 0. So finally y minus z, z minus x, and this simply gives us z plus x minus y plus x, and simply y minus z into z minus x into, now x will be cancelled out, z minus y, z minus y. We take minus sign common from these two, so this gives y minus z, z minus x. So we need x minus y, y minus z. So x minus y, y minus x. It was actually y minus x, y minus x. What we do is we take negative sign common from this. So this gives me x minus y, y minus z. We take a negative sign common from this, y minus z, z minus x. This is how it works. Suppose I take 1 1 1 p q r, p square q square r square. Property 1 says that value of determinant remains. If we use a square matrix, then its determinant and the determinant of its transpose are same. So 1 1 1 x y z x square y square z square, or 1 1 1 x y z x square y square z square will give the same answer, that is x minus y into y minus z into z minus x. If we have a b c a square b, so then a minus b into b minus c into c minus a. Eventually we are going to get p minus q, q minus r, r minus p. How? We'll make 2 0. We have ones in this, so we fix this column this time. So we are applying column 2 now becomes column 2 minus column 1, so that we make 0 here, and column 3 becomes column 3 minus column 1, so that 1 minus 1 is 0 and 1 minus 1 is 0. Then we'll expand through first row 1 0 0. How it happens? See, there is no change in first column, so 1 p square. Now 1 minus 1 is 0. Q minus p. Now q square minus p square. Q square minus p square can be factorized as q plus p into q minus p. Now 1 minus 1 is 0. R minus p. R square minus p square is r plus p into r minus p. Now what we'll do? We'll take common q minus p from C2 and r minus p from C3. So this gives us q minus p into r minus p. When we take common from first column, there is nothing common, 1 p square. From here we have taken q minus p common, so 0 1 q plus p. From this we have r minus p common, so this gives 0, r minus p is common, r minus p gives r plus p. So now expanding along first row, because we have 2 zeros in first row, so we expand along first row so that we can get answer quickly. Q minus p, r minus p. On expanding, what we get is 1 into 1 1 q plus p, r plus p minus 0 plus 0. So this gives me q minus p, r minus p. This gives r plus p minus q plus p. Well, this p is cancelled out. This gives me q minus p, r minus p, and r minus q. Now p minus q, we take negative sign common, so p minus q. P minus q, q minus r, we take a negative sign common. From here this gives me q minus r and this r minus p. So in cyclic order, p minus q into q minus r into r minus p, a minus b into b minus c into c minus a. So let us take a question which includes almost all properties. Here is the question. The delta determinant is x, y, z, x square, y square, z square, 1 plus px cube, 1 plus py cube, 1 plus pz cube. See, property 5 suggests us if in a determinant a particular row or a particular column is expressed as the sum of 2 or more terms, then the determinant can be splitted up as the sum of 2 or more determinants. So here we see that the elements of column 3, the column 3 are expressed as the sum of 2 terms. So we will split this determinant into 2 parts, out of which first and second row will same x, y, z, x square, y square, z square. Here also x, y, z, second is same, x square, y square, z square. Here we will use 1 1 1, that is the first term, and here px cube, py cube, pz cube. So we have used the fifth property here. Now we can take common. Here we can see x is common, here we can see y is common, and in the last row we have z common. Well, moreover, this, if we interchange these two rows so that 1 1 1 can be here in the, we can obtain 1 1 1 in the first column. If we interchange two columns, then if we interchange any two rows or two columns, what happens is the value of determinant remains same but its sign changes. So what we do here in this, we do C2 is interchange, the interchange side double arrow sign, C2 is interchanged by C3. So this gives us minus 1. So C1 there is no change, X, Y, Z. C2 and C3 are interchanged. So 1 1 1 is here and this will go here. X square, Y square, Z square. Well, plus here we can take X common from the first row, Y common from the second row, and z common from the third row. So what we find is, if we take x common from here, 1x px square. We have divided each term by x, that is we have taken x common. Now we take y common from this, so 1y py square. Now here we take z common, so 1z pz square. Now what we can do is, here we can see p is common in all the terms of C3. Meanwhile, if we interchange these two, so C1 is now interchanged by C2 and taking p common from here. Taking p common from C3. Well, so when we interchange, the sign changes. So again, we will get one more -1. So -1 into -1, that is -1. The square of -1, that will give us +1. So we interchange. After interchanging, we get 1, 1, 1, x, y, z, x square, y square, z square, plus. When we take p common, what we get is, x, y, z is already there. P, x, y, z, 1, 1, 1, x, y, z, x square, y square, z square. And here we see that both the determinants are same. So what we do is, this -1 whole square is 1. So when I take this determinant common, that is 1, 1, 1, x, y, z, x square, y square, z square, what I get from here is 1 plus, this is the second term. If I take the whole determinant common, what I get is p, x, y, z. Now it is the first part of question 8. How we do is, we make two zeros. How? R2 now becomes R2 minus R1 and R3 becomes R3 minus R1. That will give us x minus y into y minus z into z minus x. So what we do now? R2 becomes R2 minus R1 and R3 becomes R3 minus R1. So delta is equal to 1 plus pxyz times of 1 plus pxyz times of, here we have not made any change in R1. So R1 is same, 1x x square, 1x x square. R2 minus R1 will give me 0, y minus x, y plus x into y minus x. Y square minus x square will be factorized at y minus x into y plus x. So 1 minus 1 is 0. Y minus x, y minus x. And here y plus x multiplied by y minus x. Well, 0, 1 minus 1 is 0, z minus x. Z minus x, and the factor of z square minus x square is z plus x into z minus x. Now what you can see common from this row? Y minus x, and from this row z minus x. So this gives us delta is equal to 1 plus pxyz into y minus x is common from here. So y minus x, z minus x is common from here, z minus x. So this gives us 1x x square. When I take y minus x common from here, this gives me 0, 1 y plus x. 0, 1 y plus x. If we divide z minus x, that is we take z minus x common, so we get 0, 1 z plus x. Now expanding along first column, what we get? 1 plus pxyz multiplied by y minus x multiplied by z minus x into, now the value is z plus x minus y plus x. 1 multiplied by this, minus 0 plus 0, minus 0 plus 0. Here x will be cancelled out, so it will give 1 plus pxyz into y minus x into z minus x into z minus y. If I take negative sign common from here and here, minus into minus will be plus, so this will give me 1 plus pxyz This is x minus y when we take a negative sign common. This is y minus z after taking a negative sign common, and this is z minus x. So the value of this determinant is 1 plus pxyz, x minus y, y minus z, z minus x. This question has been asked in many of the competitive exams and also in CBSE board exam, descriptive as well as descriptive question as well as a objective question, MCQ type. What is the question actually? The value of this determinant is x minus y, y minus z, z minus x into 1 plus pxyz. Now, if I change the question, if I write if x is not equal to y is not equal to z and delta is equal to 0, then find the value of p. See, delta is equal to 0. We solved this is equal to 0, this is equal to 0. So finally it gives this is equal to 0. But x is not equal to y is not equal to z. Since x is not equal to y is not equal to z. So if x is not equal to y, then x minus y cannot be 0. If y is not equal to z, then the difference cannot be 0. So since x is not equal to y is not equal to z, so x minus y cannot be 0, y minus z cannot be 0, z minus x cannot be 0. Now the product of these four factors, 1, 2, 3, 4 factors is 0, but out of these four factors, these are non-zero factors. So to make the product 0, it is necessary that this will be 0, that is 1 plus pxyz is equal to 0. That gives us p is equal to minus 1 upon xyz. Pxyz is equal to minus 1, so p is equal to minus 1 upon xyz. Sometimes it can be asked to find the value of xyz. Then xyz is equal to minus 1 upon p. Prove that pxyz is equal to 1. That can also be proved. Or suppose there is no p. If I change the question, let's first discuss the question again. See, this was the question. What we have to do? We have to find the value of this determinant. Simply, we split it up into 2 using property 5. After splitting up, we can see common x, y and z. Meanwhile, to make both the determinant same, what we did is, we interchanged these two columns. In the next step, we took p common from a column. Mind it, I used property in row. In the next step, I use the property for column, that is I have taken common from column. Don't mix row and column in a single step. In a problem, in one step you can use row transformation, then in the next step you can row or column, but not in a single step you are mixing rows and columns. That is to be taken care of. Now this p is common, meanwhile we interchange it so that 1 1 1 is here. Now the two determinants are same, so we took common. This minus 1 square is simply 1. So when I take common this whole determinant from these two terms, 1 plus pxyz into this is the first part of question 8 which we have discussed, and it is simply x minus y into y minus z into z minus x. If I say that x and y and z are different numbers, x, y, z are different numbers and delta is equal to 0, then obviously 1 plus pxyz has to be 0, and that gives us p is equal to minus 1 upon xyz. And in our question, this is the question from miscellaneous exercise, and this is the solved example also where p is not given. So find the value of this. So p is equal to 1 actually. So the answer is x minus y, y minus z, z minus x into 1 plus pxyz. P is 1, so 1 plus xyz. And suppose if I say this is equal to 0, that means x minus y, y minus z, z minus x into 1 plus xyz is equal to 0. If these are non-zeros, then 1 plus xyz must be 0. So the value of xyz is equal to minus 1. How will solve it? Simply, first we will split. No need to, since there is no p, so p will not be taken common. There is no p. So this step, after interchanging columns twice, minus 1 into minus 1 will be plus 1. The determinant is common, and the value of this determinant is x minus y into y minus z into z minus x. I hope it is clear. Practice this question so that you can get all the properties properly. Practice this because it includes almost all properties. Thank you. I think that you will be able to do these two questions at least, so that basic knowledge about the properties and how to apply the properties. And this is an important question for CBSE board exam as well as for competitive exams. Thank you.